Is Elf on the Shelf real? Well, in today's video, this is 20 times the Elf on the Shelf was caught moving on camera, just proving how magical these elves truly are.
Like this video and subscribe in the next 5 seconds, or this spider will be crawling around your bed while you sleep tonight.
If you think you've seen it all, this clip might convince you haven't seen anything when it comes to elves on the shelf caught on camera. This clip shows an elf wearing a piece of clothing you'll never believe is possible for it to wear, so watch closely. Is there anywhere else that cannot turn into a hiding place? We don't think so. In this clip, a camera captured an elf on the shelf quietly trying to enter a house, but after a while, the elf decided to enter at all costs and hide in a place that will surprise you, so keep on watching. We think we're beginning to notice a pattern with some elves on the shelf. Some of them might enjoy getting caught in the living room, bedroom, and any other room, but they seem to hate getting caught in the kitchen. Is this because Santa makes them do all the cooking at the North Pole? It seems that way as we watch this clip of an elf jumping down from the kitchen countertop and making a run for it. This clip features these elves on the shelf sitting harmlessly on the floor, but it's probably one of the creepiest clips of elves on the shelf we've ever seen. What looked like two elves rocking back and forth, which is already creepy enough, ended on a surprising note, so let's check it out. This elf is caught on camera for being so mischievous at night. She's wary of being caught at first, only to be caught later as she was captured by the camera flying in midair. This happens twice, so keep an eye out for it. An elf on the shelf was caught on camera lifting itself from inside Santa's socks and then started moving around the house until it got to the bag where there were a bunch of candies inside. After a while trying to create a sleeping spot for itself in between the candies on the floor, it finally went back to staying inside the socks. It's probably much warmer than the alternative. The Elf on the Shelf phenomenon is a Christmas tradition in which elves go around the neighborhood to spy on children and see if they're being good or bad. This elf had no idea it was being watched by a drone camera as it went around the town. Luckily, he didn't break the speed limit, and this clip shows just how hard the elves are working. This guy is aware that something is going on late at night and that their elf was up to something, so he installed a concealed camera to catch the mischievous elf. Let's take a look at what he got. Alright, so it enters the room, disappears behind the table, and starts flying across it. The elf is definitely using magic, but following this performance, he goes to the bedroom where the man is sleeping, and well, just take a look at what the elf ends up doing. This clip shows two elves, one wearing red and another wearing pink, sitting on toy horses as if they're preparing for a race. However, the elf who's wearing red just starts riding towards the camera. We can only wonder whether the elves wanted to race and got scared of being recorded, or if they didn't even plan to race in the first place and just wanted to ride around on their little toy horses. This clip shows an elf on the shelf who got inside a toy BMW and started driving around the patio. The elf is not alone, as there's also a little dog sitting in the passenger seat. Now this is one of the most incredible elf on the shelf clips ever, because the elf must know that he's being recorded, but he still chooses to continue driving around and having fun with his new furry friend. The security camera of a home captured something bizarre when the owners were not there. In this clip, an elf on the shelf was caught on camera moving directly in front of the security camera and then staring at it. What a sight to witness. In this clip, we see an elf literally teleport into the kitchen, which is an interesting choice for elves to make. The elf then begins to do what elves do best, move and float while pretending no one is watching. However, when it realized that someone might be watching, it floated directly into the camera's lens and proceeded to destroy it because elves hate being captured moving on camera. Now in this clip, captured elves do something I didn't think was possible. They created a makeshift hot air balloon and started flying across the room with two of their babies in the basket. Maybe these elves got tired of working for Santa and wanted to go on a short vacation, or maybe they just got bored with sitting at their owner's house and wanted to have some fun. Or maybe the elves just wanted to impress their owners. We'll probably never know, but this clip is a great example of the ingenuity that some of these elves have. This clip was recorded by a girl who was playing with her elf on the shelf in the pantry when she noticed that another elf, this one wearing black clothes, is trying to squeeze under the doors. As she picks up the elf, she notices that it doesn't have any legs, and then the other two elves can be seen waving to the girl from the other side of the doors. According to the girl, these two elves actually locked her inside the pantry, and she had to wait for hours until her mother come back from work and unlock the doors. Who knew that elves can pull such evil pranks on their owners? On Christmas Eve of 2013, this elf was caught riding around the house in a tiny car with his Barbie friends. You might not notice anything weird at first, but then it moves a little and walks past the camera only to look at it directly. It jumped down from the counter, it opened the door to the pantry, and it threw away everything it could reach. There are also a few moments in the video where Barbie drives on her own, and you'll see the elf continuing to drive around in his car, causing a mess in the kitchen and having a good time playing with the toys in the house. After the elf had its fun, it returns to the same spot in the kitchen and freezes in the same way, hoping that no one will suspect it. The elf on the shelf in this next clip would rather choose to play hide and seek in the kitchen than stay put in one position, so let's check it out. Nighttime is fun for elves on the shelf because they always think they're alone and won't be caught, and this elf on the shelf in this clip knows exactly how to make use of that time. Unfortunately, there was a hidden camera set up to capture its fun time, so we can't say the elf has failed in some sense, but it also succeeded in making our day. This clip shows an elf on the shelf trying to escape being captured on camera. You can see the elf just dashing out of frame, and then its owner goes around the house looking for the elf until he finally finds it in an interesting position, so keep on watching. This family probably has the largest elf on the shelf collection in the world, including over 50 elves. They must be really great owners, because if you're a bad person, the elf on the shelf will run away to the North Pole. The fact that this family has over 50 elves shows that they treat their elves really well. As you can see, there are many different types of them, from the usual elves dressed in red to more rare colors like blue, pink, yellow, purple, gray, and black. When this girl was sleeping one night, she woke up to strange noises coming from the living room. She rushed downstairs to see what was going on, only to find herself in the middle of hundreds of elves. It's literally insane, and her elf on the shelf was also present in the middle of the gathering, so maybe it invited its friends for a party or something like that. I'm really curious about what they were talking about. Maybe they were just having fun, or is there a chance they were planning something bad? Well, it's up to you to decide, so make sure you keep on watching till the end. A mom caught two elves on the shelf playing with each other in her wardrobe. The elves were seen facing each other as they kept playing and didn't seem bothered by the mom recording them. For the residents of this house, elves on the shelf might not be on the budget for this Christmas, and we can't blame them, and neither will you after watching this clip. Their elf clearly enjoys throwing tantrums and making his opinions known by trashing the owner's kitchen, opening shelves, and rearranging everything inside, even dumping things on the ground. In this clip, an elf on the shelf was caught on camera moving, but where the other elf on the shelf clips usually have them moving around with no destination in mind, this one has a purpose, and that's to find its fluffy friends, so let's check it out. Elves coming alive and starting to move is already scary knowledge, but also knowing that it can sometimes help with house chores without you knowing can be scarier. In this clip, an elf on the shelf is seen flying into the laundry room before flying into the washing machine and then bringing out a sock. What a helper. This kid woke up and started vlogging his day when he came to the kitchen to find his father on the ground lying unconscious. The kid got super scared and he noticed one of their elves is sitting right next to the father and he's got a bottle in his hands, meaning the elf has become evil and attacked the father by hitting his head with a bottle. When the kid woke up his dad, they noticed another elf sitting on the kitchen counter holding something much more dangerous than the bottle, so let's take a look. This clip was filmed with someone actively present because we can see the person recording is playing with the elf's hat. This is a really bad idea, but in the end, the person got what he wanted because the elf eventually reacted and blinked. This clip was captured by a man who set up a camera to catch his elf on the shelf floating around his bedroom before it started moving towards his pillows and acting as if it had gone to sleep, and finally moving down beside the bedside to hide on the floor. We think one of the things elves don't account for is getting caught on camera while moving, even though they're supposed to not have the ability to move at all. However, as soon as this particular elf noticed the camera, it went into hiding mode immediately just to avoid getting captured. The elf on the shelf was caught on camera moving from one place to another. It was caught riding a tiny toy horse and being accompanied by another doll, but it left the other two to climb up a chair and then jump on the table to find itself a hiding spot. Let's check it out. If there's one thing elves are good at, it's turning the situation around in their favor. When an elf on the shelf was caught on camera moving, it decided to turn the situation around and tease the camera instead. Our next elf on the shelf caught on camera shows an elf trying to find the right position for it to either sit or rest. The elf is seen moving towards the sink before moving away and then trying to rest on the counter before changing its mind again, and that must have been when it spotted the camera that was recording its every movement. Who knew that elves like to dance, and not just dance but at a pace as this? If you can, try moving your legs as quickly as these cute elves and you'll see how difficult it actually is. So 2 weeks before Christmas, this dad caught their elf on the shelf just flying in the middle of the video he was recording. Actually, this dad and his family have a verified elf on the shelf YouTube channel, and they've captured their elf moving a few times, so it must be a real video, and what you're seeing has happened for real. It's about to get even crazier, so make sure you keep on watching till the end. Now, this kid was practically informing his father that he did not believe in the elf on the shelf's existence, and we can't blame him because these days many people don't believe in magical elves. When the boy returned to his room, an elf on the shelf had actually emerged and began flying around, and then the elf on the shelf began to perform various additional actions. Now, obviously, it's just flying around the house and flying around his room, but something even crazier happens at the end of this clip, so stay tuned for that. This guy is on a quest to catch the elf on the shelf moving over the Christmas season. He's tried putting chocolate coins and candy canes in front of the elf to make him move and grab a piece of chocolate for a snack, but it's not gonna work. He needs to pay closer attention to the elf, but nothing seems to be changing, so he turned off the lights and installed a night vision camera. Then the elf vanishes and leaves the goodies half empty. What happened to it? Fortunately, the guy fit a GPS tracker to the elf to keep track of it, and where do you think the elf on the shelf went? Of course, to the North Pole, and it's probably going to tell Santa everything that's happened to him. In this clip, the elf can be seen wanting to climb down the staircase, but as if it knew there was a hidden camera trying to capture exactly that, the elf went back and hid, but then continued to peep as if hoping the camera would stop rolling, so let's check it out. In this next clip, an elf on the shelf was caught on tape moving and rolling its eyes. The clip shows an elf sitting on what seemed to be the top of the stairs before it started moving to face another house and then fell at the same time. How strange is that? Some elves on the shelf are just super funny, like this one. It was chilling on a Christmas tree when it looked straight into the camera and rose its hand to a dabbing position. It's just insane and makes you wonder whether it's something Santa is teaching the elves or if it's something that it's seen kids do so many times that it wanted to try itself.
Two cheeky elves. These elves are just so incredible and were recorded by a camera being absolutely adorable. One of them happens to be super shy, but sometimes smiles a bit, and then you see the other one in the back start moving. Elves on the shelf are truly wonderful creatures, so remember to behave well, and not just with your elves, but also with your friends, family, and even strangers. The Mystery Black Elf. Elves on the shelf usually wear red clothes, but there are actually clothes that come in other colors, like green or even black, which is the rarest. Apparently, they have the strongest magical powers, and in this clip, the black elf was caught trying to steal Skittles from the kitchen counter. The family put a bag of Skittles right in front of the camera, hoping the elf would fall for the bait. The elf had problems opening the door, but eventually reached the Skittles and got caught by the person behind the camera. However, the elf just teleported out of his hand and escaped the dangerous situation. Elf in Chimney. In this clip, an elf on the shelf was caught moving by the chimney. What happened was the dad was trying to bring back the magic into the elf. You see, his kid accidentally touched the elf, resulting in it losing its magic. It was a really sad moment, but then the dad knew exactly what to do. A little bit of cinnamon powder will do the elf some good. Cinnamon is a great thing to put on your elf to bring back their magic, and after some time, the elf really did move. Make sure you remember this because it's a great trick to have active elves during Christmas.